You are watching a presentation of Soccer Night in Detroit.
Welcome. It's me, Hannah Crum, with two legends.
Okay, me, Steve. I interviewed
And Mad Cat.
And that cat.
This guy right here. Every time you score, he has to play this song for you every time, every single time.
David, I believe in Derek.
Let's go.
All right, back at it with the Musings once more. Had a little soccer action today. One game in the championship. Not much highlights to give you because both teams actually did play to a 0-0 draw in that one. The only highlight I got to show you from this one was early on in the contest. And goalkeeper Colliot for Birmingham making a save here, and that's all she wrote. Well, 0-0 the final score. Hartford had a goal disallowed due to an offsides. Other than that, not really much to write home about in that game.
Unfortunately, no, with a home day on Education Day, aka us old scholar called a field trip.
Birmingham did dictate, though, most of the play, though, throughout the match. 15 total shots to 8. Both teams had 2 shots on target, though. The only big chance, though, was from Birmingham. Great save by Anthony Siaha in the process of that one.
Yeah.
So, not much to write home about there, but there was a lot to talk about as far as week 1 goes in the championship. Of course, the big story, as you know, the ongoing labor talks between the Players Association and USL HQ. And of course, there was a message being sent by the players after what the union, or not what the league brought out as guidelines to whether or not for players. Basically letting them know that they have a place on the pitch as long as they're able to cross the picket line.
Yeah. I don't know what the motive of USL HQ motive of saying, well, we don't want to strike. But hey, if there is a strike, you could come to play, but we'll not play you any pay or any assurance. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, and players did not like that idea. So what did they do on the games this weekend? Well, they had a 1-minute long protest during those games in which players would stand after the whistle blew for exactly 1 minute until and then go right into the action. So basically, it's been a protest throughout the league. All the games that occurred this weekend had that minute-long protest. Now, it's also garnered some resistance from USL HQ, in which
literally, because on Friday night when the season kicked off, they showed the full minute protest with Lexington and Louisville players. After that, they decided to yell at the air producers, "We don't want to see the protest." Literally, I jotted down on my notes. I think almost everybody have said have almost all the games were off and we have a delay. About a third of the broadcast was talking about the game that was at hand. One game had a graphic that said game is in delay. There was the other half, they didn't say anything. And oh my God. Mostly they decided to raise tension of the players on the field by showing the crowd watching Taylor Swift music, literally. Or
like today's game. Yeah, like today's game in Birmingham as well.
Yeah, you called it. I thought you were joking because I was surprised it spilled over to the second game, Birmingham. This was their second home game, so
I wasn't surprised at all that it was going to spill over, and I'm sure the players are going to have a message to be sent out there this week as well, in lieu of the strike. because even though they are getting the backing from the CWA, Communication Workers of America, another strong member of the AFL-CIO, it's something that the players just simply cannot afford at this time.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article in goal.com just a little bit ago before we went on talking about it. There's like some players that can't afford to strike at this point. So what the players are doing is sending a message. Is okay. You want to have these standard, or you want to have these ambitions and all that. Well, you can't have it without us.
And in the last few days, they've been questioning about the USL business model. Because like I said, I read a great article you sent to me from The Guardian, because we're still losing a team or two per year, either in the championship side or League One side, like South Georgia Tomato, where it's recently folded, just like North Carolina FC, which folded, San Diego, Memphis, Rio Grande Valley. I could go on and on. So,
and the main problem is that USL basically all it's doing is just accepting franchise or yearly participation fees, expansion fees, broadcast fees, and they are not distributing it amongst the clubs themselves.
Unlike all the other professional leagues that distribute all the money to the 30 or 32 teams in the four major professional sports.
Well, grant you, this is not a single entity league like MLS is. Neither now the other non-single entity leagues include Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, the NFL, NHL, so on and so forth. They kind of let their clubs run independently as well.
Okay.
So basically right now what it looks like is the business model that USL does, which is basically a real estate arm anyway for the Papadakis family as they're trying to expand soccer to many town in this country, is basically they take all the expansion fees and build off that to help the league headquarters do what they need to do. They take viable, shall we say, viable offers from places like Bell Tower Capital as well, to help fuel what they need to do to implement programs such as Pro Rel, such as a Division One program, and not distributed to the clubs themselves.
Oh, brother. It's a mess.
Which in turn would also run down to the players themselves. Now, 80% of the clubs in the USL right now are running at a pretty good tip where they can afford to pay their players health care, where they can afford to pay them decent salaries and whatnot. So this is a huge problem and all that. It's that 20% that's pretty much dictating things that are going on with what the league wants to do to get this CBA organized.
Oh my.
Yes. Let's see if I can go back to that goal article.
Okay.
Might have that still.
And I also sent you an article of where they are currently yesterday for that from Around United, who's been keeping up on the developments pretty much
Right.
nonstop. When they
Now, Goal.com reports there's at least 4 clubs being heavily involved in the contract negotiations.
But
San
they didn't say
Antonio
which
FC,
four.
Birmingham Legion, Charleston Battery, and Loudoun United.
Who was that first team you mentioned?
San Antonio FC.
Oh, I see. San Antonio FC is doing well. Birmingham Legion, they have an attendance problem. Loudoun,
But they're still doing well financially.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
know about Loudoun United. We saw that in the Athletic last year.
Yeah, last year.
So those are the four clubs. This is according to Goal.com that have been a participant at these bargaining sessions.
Wow. Okay.
And of course, also representative of the league, Paul McDonough, the USL president, Jeremy Allenbaugh, chief legal officer Garrison Maros, and president of competition administration Brett Lai.
Okay.
They've all been at the table, and of course, Connor Tobin has been assisted by several players in the negotiations as well. So this is the gist of what's been offered at the table. So. Or who's been at the bargaining table, not just what's at the table. Who's been at the bargaining table?
Okay.
For the most part. Now clubs have been getting feedback back and forth with the USL. Now in a Channel 2 WGBK report yesterday, they were talking about this as well. Carlos Herrera was featured in that interview as well. If you were to see, I don't have the footage of that to hear his comments. You can go to that interview himself. But he brought up where the players' union stands as far as what they want. Obviously, the big issues here: healthcare for all the players, as well. A standard minimum salary, which is higher than what the USL is offering. And of course, within that minimum salary is provided health care.
Oh my.
So, I mean, a lot of those questions in there. So, like I said, go back to that. It's
Fox2Detroit.com. You can find it, or you can find it on the My Local app.
And it's also, and I believe they might have something on their YouTube page as well.
And the YouTube page. Thank you very much for mentioning that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, right now it's still come to a head. There's still no set strike date, and I don't know if there's going to be one at this point. I mean, the talk is there, but they've had the authorization to set a strike.
Oh my!
And and I would assume that would be if negotiations were to break down and come to an impasse. Now they're negotiating as we speak right now because as we're recording this podcast. So any new information we probably won't pass it along until we know. And which as of late there hasn't been really any new information.
Yeah, well, when a second tier soccer league like USL, probably no news is good news because it's not covered like major disputes in all the other sports. It's just like
Yeah, exactly, and it's it's kind of under the radar as to speak. So, but like I said, this is a story that unlike the other ones, we're an independent podcast, so we're gonna report what's going on.
Yeah, we do not work for the league or Detroit City. We're just doing independently, literally.
So. Exactly. We're going to tell you what we know and what we gather up through information, whether it be from The Guardian, whether it be from Goal.com, whether it be from other outlets that we can share with you as far as the information goes. The USL is not going to tell you anything because they did a bottom line last night. I was listening to All Access. That's also available on YouTube as well. They're not going to report.
It's a USL production, by the way. It's a USL production.
Precisely. They said that they were not going to report anything unless, it's factual. And basically what we're reporting here, we're gathering the facts as they speak as well. We're gathering from what Connor Tobin and what the union is saying. We're also gathering from what the USL is saying. So, needless to say, we're trying to report as accurate as we can possibly do.
Yeah, and as you probably know, if you've been reading, Mike Watts, who hosts USL is the main caller on CBS Sports and ESPN Plus, he got a lot of flack. Remember, they mentioned there's a delay, but didn't say what was for. We all know it's for the strike, but hey, it's a USL production.
It's not for it's actually not for the strike. It's for it's not for a strike. No. Let's just put that out there right now. It's not for a strike. It's for what the union is wanting in these negotiations. It's basically standing up for players' rights.
I know. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I hope there's no strike because we
No,
can't.
absolutely. Because if there's a strike, everything that's a whole
Uh,
new Pandora's box to open at that
uh,
point.
yeah, tell me about it from 1987. Remember 3 weeks of replacement players in the NFL?
Yep, and it could be the same thing in the USL
Oh,
because
geez, let's hope not. Oh my.
we would hope it wouldn't be. We would hope it would be. Our hopes is obviously let's get this thing done. Let's get this settled. Have a new contract. Be a standard bearer for what's going to be coming up in the next couple years, as far as what League One is going to be doing in their contract that ends in 2027. So let this be the harbinger of what's to come. And of course, we all know the big elephant in the room, Division One, which will lead to Pro Row.
Yes, or USL Premier. That's the official name. So
Absolutely. So we talk about having all the ducks in a row right there. Well, this is one big duck you got to get in a row right now. It's getting these labor negotiations settled to appease both sides of the table.
mhm.
So
there,
that,
there will be some happy folks, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of unhappy folks. Who knows?
yep. And don't be expecting these uh, minute protests to go away anytime soon.
No,
You're gonna
unless
hear some support from supporters like they did in Brooklyn on Sunday.
yes,
Expect something on Saturday from the Detroit City
yes,
faithful.
yes, and by the
Everyone
way,
that's involved, every supporter group, whether it be the Northern
yes,
Guard, the Coalition, Notre Truc.
and yes, you and I are both going to be down there. I know you're going to be filming at your media area. I'll be filming near the
We're still going
stand.
to cover it. We're going to cover it like it's a news story.
It's a news story. What else?
Yep, it's going to be part. It's part of it. We're not going to shy away from it.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not going to shy away from it whatsoever. So
So can we move on? Considering
yes, we
that
can move. Let's move on to Europe.
oh yes, Europe. I was going to talk about the USLW playoff, but we'll hold on.
Yeah, we'll hold on. Or not the playoffs. The MASLW playoffs is coming up in a couple weeks, so we'll
Uh-huh.
talk more about that once they come around. It's right around the last bit of the season. All playoff teams are set as far as that goes. So
Except for
we'll
one
have a
spot,
preview of
one
that. We'll have a
team
preview of
played this
that definitely
weekend.
next week. Not on
I
the
know.
musings, but a special. Yeah, we'll be busy all week next
We're
week.
going to be busy next week. We're not going to do music, for God's sake. But yes,
Yeah, it's going to
I'm
be
watching
soccer night,
the
soccer night, soccer night, soccer night
yes,
all week
I'm
next week.
watching the European League right now, and it got to the round of 16. There were two good games. Glata, I can't even pronounce the name beginning with G.
Galatasaray. Galatasaray comes away with a
Galatasaray
1-0 victory over Liverpool in the first leg of their uh, round of 16 matchup over in Turkey or
I
Turkey.
know.
So,
And there was a
is
lot
it
of
going to be?
goals.
You think that's going to be trouble for Liverpool?
I don't think so. Are they still doing road goals first
Nope.
as a
No
tournament?
away
No.
goals. That's only in CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think Liverpool could do it, but hey, being down 1-0 is still good. Hopefully.
Being down 1-0 is better than being down 5-2.
We're going to get to that in just
Oh,
a
we're
minute.
getting to this right now. Tottenham
Two
gave up
brother.
4 straight goals to start off the match against Atletico Madrid. Then, after 2 of those goals on Tuesday over at that was at the it wasn't not no it wasn't Bernabeu, but after 2 of the goals from in yesterday's contest, the goalkeeper in that contest for Tottenham, um,
What's up now?
yeah, no, Kinski was subbed out by Tottenham's coach or Tottenham's interim coach, Igor Tudor.
Well, to tell you the truth, I like
This was his first start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after the first couple goals that Atletico scored, he got pulled. He got pulled in the. Yeah, he only played. Like I said, he only played 17 minutes. He got subbed in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Atletico Madrid for advancing to the round of 8.
Yeah, and uh, Tudor has not had let's just say he's not had a very good start with Tottenham since taking over the club for Thomas Frank.
And get the rumor mill is he may not get to next Saturday.
Well, I was just reading that he is going to be he is available for press time on Friday.
Oh my! So
But guess who they play on? Because we went to Liverpool first. Guess who they play this week?
Liverpool.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Not going to be an easy task for them.
No,
I believe they're hosting them.
I think he's on the hot seat. It's getting warmer. Who knows? It could be something dramatic like Nottingham Forest during the season.
I wouldn't be surprised from this Spurs bunch.
And they're on manager 4. He would be the third manager. Whoever replaces him will be the third manager. Oh my God!
12:30 Sunday at Anfield.
Also, could I congratulate Bayern Munich on their blowout victory also yesterday?
Yeah, Bayern Munich. Yeah, I really don't have anything to say about that because that's kind of expected when you think about it. Big blowout yesterday over at Atlanta on the road. So yeah, they're just a shoo-in. They've had a phenomenal year in Bundesliga and in the Champions League.
I know.
They are one of the heavy favorites.
And one more result: Newcastle United tie Barcelona 1-1.
Yeah, Barcelona getting a goal late in that contest. Yamal on a penalty late in the contest. It was the 96th minute of play or 6 minute of stoppage time when that happened. After Barnes scored the goal in the 86th minute to put Newcastle up by a score 1-0.
I know.
Should be an interesting battle when they go to the Camp Nou next week.
Yeah. Yes. And I am at home right now watching. If I could get my menu up. Yes, I'm watching the first game, which featured Arsenal in the first game against. There it is. Arsenal taking on Bayern Leverkusen. Don't forget Man City against Real Madrid at 4:00. Remember, it's 4:00 instead of 3:00 because of the recent time change.
Right. So, currently right now, Bayern Leverkusen, no score at that point right now against Bayer Leverkusen. Bodo Glimt against Sporting Porto. PSG taking on Chelsea. That's and of course the 5,000th meeting between Real Madrid and Man City going on this afternoon.
I know. And don't
most of these games will have been taking place once we get this thing in the can and recorded.
Yeah, and when we see each other for Musings in 2 weeks, we'll give you the final 8.
Yeah, by then we'll have the final 8 for sure. And I mean, we might mix it in a little bit with our coverage of Soccer Week in Detroit. Yes, I am pointing that Soccer Week in Detroit.
Literally and figuratively.
Definitely Soccer Week in Detroit. And it all begins Saturday at Keyworth. But the FA Cup also had its draw on Monday, I believe it was. And a wild finish in that game on Monday. Let's see, the last game. The winner would take on, I believe, Leeds. They'd be hosting Leeds in that one. So West Ham and Brentford went to penalties. West Ham had the lead twice in this game. Lost it both times, but they go into penalties. And interesting enough, I think one of the kicks ended up being like a Panenka that went bad.
Yeah, very great. I think it was a double fake out. The goal scorer was going to score one way. he stopped. He decided to go another way, and he learned. He got an easy save, and yes, it was Paninka. You call it?
Yeah, Panenka gone bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's look at the final 8, shall we say, of the coming up in the FA Cup. Let's see. Southampton will be taking on Arsenal. Chelsea will be taking on Port Villa.
One of the couple of non-conference teams,
Port
non-premier.
Vale, not Port Villa. Port Vale. I'm sorry.
Port Vale, yes.
Yeah. And of course, we already mentioned West Ham taking on Leeds, and of course, Man City versus Liverpool
I
at
know.
the Etihad.
Yes, it's going to be at Man City. Yes.
Yes.
Tremendous opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. And let's see. They are yet to be next match is yet to be determined. So I don't think I think they're going to draw for the semifinal.
Yes, and you can't have a draw for the finals because they will meet in the finals.
Yes, so the two semifinal matches, the 4 teams will be put in the pot. It'll be a draw. We'll see what happens when all 4 of these ties take place. I believe they say April 4th will be the dates.
Okay, 3 days after April Fool's Day.
Yes, so April 4th will be the date for all these matches in the FA Cup. Now, one other cup competition's coming up, and I believe that closes out competitive play before the international break. That's coming up not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. The same day as the MASLW Championship, by the way.
I know.
Arsenal taking on Man City.
For the
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Yep, the Moose Cup.
They're going to be facing on them, and remember, this is the first leg for your City or Arsenal to go for the quad, literally.
Yeah, this is going to be the first leg of the 4.
Yeah, because both
that's what it's going to come down to. Yeah,
they're all still eligible to win the quad.
Yep.
Or the treble, whatever.
Yeah, which I don't think the treble is going to happen this year with these 2 teams that are up on top of the Premier League, that are very active in their cup competitions as of late, very active in the Champions League. So, you know what? There's the high possibility. And I had them, if you remember from last week, I had them facing off in the Champions League final with Arsenal winning.
Oh, my.
So, and I said it was going to be 2-2. It was going to be, they're going to split 2-2.
It's going to be entertaining for the next 2 months. Literally.
Yes, indeed. 2 or 3 months, actually, when you think about it. Because we're going all the way to June with the Champions. Well, almost to the end of June, because and then after that, it's the World Cup, which we found out some news this morning.
World Cup from hell, as we like to call it. And we want to do the short international news break because word went down in an interview on Iranian TV that they're going to say, we're not going to send our men's national team to the U.S.
Their director of sport, I'm going to try to get his name real quick here. So hold on. That means I have to go back to your what I sent you this morning as far as that goes. So so the sports minister of Iran, after everything that's gone on in the last 11 days or so in this attack on their country, their sports their sporting their sports director, not sporting director, their sports director, Ahmad Danyamali, has said in an interview on state television that there's no way Iran will attend the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, Gianni Infantino and Donald Trump have been begging, or did I say his name?
Donald Trump, yeah.
No, you said his name too. Excuse me, Taco Covfefe have been begging it literally in beg mode as far as that. We openly saying that they openly invite Iran to the 2026 World Cup. And this is after last week where President Kofefe said that he didn't care if Iran was going to show up to the World Cup.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So, needless to say, it's just been, right now it's still in flux. There's a few outlets that have been reported on it. Haven't had anything come from the. And what I sent you was from CBS Sports.com. I haven't heard anything from the Athletic. Nothing official as of yet. But what has been reported on TV, what has been reported on TV is not officially true as of yet. So there's no official word as of yet. We'll just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There was a couple other stories that got our attention, especially, as you probably know, we don't follow the MLS on this show, literally.
Yes.
But guess what? Two players have still not learned the lesson of one, Charlie Hustle, a.k.a. Peach Rose. Because they got in the right card for life for gambling.
Here's a statement from Major League Soccer. Major League Soccer has issued lifetime bans or lifetime suspension to Derek Jones and Yaboa, neither of who is currently under currently under contract with an MLS club for violating its gambling policy. Say that about 15 times fast. After receiving suspicious betting alerts through Integrity Partners, MLS retained the law firm Patterson, Belknap, and Webb and Taylor to conduct an investigation, and the players were placed under administrative leave pending the completion of the review. After reviewing the results of the investigation, MLS concluded that the players engaged in extensive gambling on soccer, including on their own teams, during the 24 and 25 seasons. In one instance, both players bet on Jones to draw a yellow card on the October 19th, 2024 match, which he received. MLS determined that the players likely shared confidential information with other bettors about their intent to draw yellow cards. No evidence was identified that suggested that any of these betting activities affected the outcome of the match. So basically, they bet on themselves. From what it sounds like, they bet on themselves to get yellows.
Yeah, unfortunately, and like I said at the top, everybody who's been caught betting on other games or their own team, which is a cardinal sin, no, haven't learned the lesson of Juan Pete Rose. Remember, he was banned for life for betting on his own team when he was a manager.
Now, there's been instances like in the Premier League, like in the Premier League, as far as that goes. One goes to Ivan Toney, who was suspended for, I believe it was 10 months with Brentford. And I think since has left the club. Now, this happened I believe it was 2023 that happened. I want to say that was. So the betting in football or in soccer has, with, players involved has happened in other leagues as well. Now, the FA, or not the FA, but the Premier League, beginning in 26-27, will not allow betting sponsors on the front of the jerseys. Kind of like, what you see, you see with Celtic and Rangers. We'll be talking about that, too, in a little bit. Like, they have betting sponsors on their jerseys. I believe there's a couple club. Bally's is one of them.
Yeah.
On one of the jerseys as well. I think there was. I'm not sure what Stake.com was. That was on Everton's jerseys, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were betting, but there's been several clubs in the Premier League that have had betting operations, like 32 Red, or say. I'm trying to think of another one, or Match, whatever it is. Different betting platforms in England.
Uh-huh.
Grant you know what we have on the side of our jerseys this year? On the
We
on the
Motor
sleeve of
City
our jersey.
Casino.
We have a
Motor
casino on
Casino.
our jersey. We also had sponsorship of a gambling website, Golden Nugget, if you remember from a couple years back.
I remember during the garage sale, they were desperately trying to get rid of the jersey with Golden Nugget.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't take the bait. I didn't take the bait.
here's my question. You know, and we're living in a world now where DraftKings is sponsoring the NFL.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure, and of course, you mentioned Pete Rose. There's a betting site that sponsors Major League Baseball as well.
I
There's
know.
betting
Yeah.
sites that sponsor the NBA
Mm-hmm.
and the NHL. It's big
Mm-hmm.
business.
I know. Two
And
of our
and here's the caveat to all this.
okay.
Who's sponsoring MLS?
A poly market site that reared its ugly head during the election.
A
Last
poly market site.
oh,
Is that a
brother.
form of betting? Last time I checked, I thought it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell
So,
you that
I mean,
what difference between what P Rose did and what these players are being caught because a lot of sports books are now reporting to their league if, let's say, one of their own players are doing suspicious things. Remember, we had to go through months and months of investigation with P Rose, and during that time, there was no such thing as BetMGF.com or FanDuel or you know what I'm talking
no,
about.
nothing. I mean, all you had was Vegas. That was it. And
Yeah,
maybe your
baby.
local Purple Game member. Oh wait a minute, Purple Game was gone before then. But I mean, yeah, it was either mafia controlled or you run it
Yeah.
through Vegas or I think Atlantic City too before Taco bankrupted all the casinos over there.
Literally, so yeah, I know. And they have to say, hey, one of your players are betting something, you're on site, which you can't do in any of the major practice facility or arenas. They have to do way, way off site. You know what I mean? So they haven't learned the lesson of Charlie Hustle.
No, and
No,
it's gotten to be worse and worse and worse. And we still have, like I said, we still have players doing it to this day.
I know.
And
I know.
it's bad to do that. I mean, is it bad for like Celtic to be sponsored by Dafabet? Is it bad for Rangers to be sponsored by 32 Red? You know, it's bad. I think it's bad for why would you want to promote? I mean, it's okay if you're promoting it on the board, on the dasher boards or whatever it is, or the advertising boards outside the pitch. But when you're wearing it on your kit,
Oh,
that's a bad example.
very bad
And then
example.
like I said, we don't bet. We make picks during our matches. We make picks all year long.
For
We
entertainment
bet.
purposes.
We don't bet on these. There's a reason why we
No,
don't bet.
no. These
Have
picks
you
are for
seen our
entertainment.
predictions?
This is for entertainment purposes. You know that. I know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just for fun. It's just, if pick the stick on uh, Fox Sports was any indication. But yeah. One more story before we get to sorry, not sorry. And this is kind of unusual. I don't know where this happened because there was a recent soccer match. The game was getting to
It was
its
in Brazil.
yes, in
This
Brazil
happened
in the second.
Sunday.
Yes, it was getting very testy near the end of that game. And there was an attempted game tying or game winning goal. You probably have the information because I'm doing it on cell
I'm
phone.
looking that up as you speak. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there
It
was
got
a match. Looking for the league right now. I'm trying to go through FOTMob to do that. So, as I'm looking, but as you know, South American soccer is usually very how do I say it? It's usually very physical.
mhm,
It's usually very let's just say it's usually very emotional.
yes.
And in the final of the Mineiro tournament down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
A late fracas that occurred between players near the goal end between Cruzeiro and Atletico MG occurred 90th minute of play. 23 red cards were handed out.
Literally, they gave both teams the ejection.
Yes.
Literally.
Goal was scored by the only goal that was scored was by Kyle Jorge in the 60th minute of play. And what ended up happening was there was a big time melee at the end of the match. This was at the 17th minute of stoppage time when this occurred. So I wouldn't say really abandoned the match in front of 62,000 in the final of that competition. Now, remember all the shenanigans that went on in the African Cup of Nations?
Yeah.
Between Morocco and Senegal?
Yeah.
It didn't really come to fisticuffs like this did. And sure enough, you're looking at, like I said, 23 yellow cards. Now, if I were the clubs involved, this is a scenario I think. Usually, if a red card suspension is what, 2 to 3 games?
Yeah, usually a red card suspension after you go straight right in the next game.
Yeah. I would say, and I think this is a cup competition. So I would say make them forfeit their next league game. Minus 3 points. Minus 3 points.
Everybody got a red card.
Or you could just deduct them 9 points off to get.
You get a red card for fighting. You get a red card for pushing. You get a red card for violent conduct. You get a red card for a dangerous tackle.
Yeah. Basically, at this point, you would say, yeah, let's just, I'd say give them, a 3-game suspension. 3-game suspension, penalize them 9 points.
And here's the weird part. Are you going to fill them out with their account player or the second division team?
No. Forfeit matches.
Oh, my.
Yep, forfeited matches.
Yikes.
Yep.
Yikes.
Minus 9 points.
Like I said, not worth it after the end of the game going in a riot mode, but,
Yeah.
But we're about to go to Story Not Story, and you have a subject that was, let me say this right now, thank God it didn't blow out of control, but was bad and embarrassing at the same time.
I've got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it.
Just brother.
Sunday, Scottish Cup quarterfinal took place over at Ibrox. It was between Celtic and Rangers, as you would expect. And, of course, we all know the history of it, especially with the supporters of both of these clubs. It's been documented. I would suggest watching a documentary on YouTube that explains what goes on between the ultras of these clubs. And sure enough, ultra violence reared its ugly head on Sunday. At the end of the match,
on ESPN Plus.
Yep. Celtic ended up winning the match on penalty kicks. Now, grant you, I don't condone pitch celebrations. Let the play. Not pitch celebration. I don't condone fans going out on the pitch. Grant you, what we seen with Pittsburgh and after Tulsa, that got a little heated. I'm sure there was some Pittsburgh fans that came out on the crowd, came out of the crowd to congratulate their players after their penalty kicks to win against FC Tulsa. But what went on at Ibrox on Sunday? It was another example. Grant you, I get it. You celebrated great victory in penalty kicks over your hated rival and all that stuff. What happened after that, though? Fans at the other end of the pitch, the Union Bears, were looking at what was going on down at the far end where the Celtic fans were seated. They started storming the field, put on their little Spider-Man masks, went out on the field like cowards, and started throwing, throwing flares at the Celtic supporters, started punching players
Oh my.
from Celtic.
Oh my.
Complete and utter deplorable behavior
Oh brother.
by the Rangers supporters. It turned into ugly scenes. Now, there's a reason why they don't allow fans or supporters of either, why they've limited ticket allocations in this Old Firm, because of actions like this. And I say that, like I said, they are deplorable. I'm not, like I said, whatever the Celtic fan, some of the Celtic fans, and there were a few of them that did go on the pitch to celebrate with their club after the victory. There was a few of them that did that. But that's what I'm not saying it's, like I said, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I don't think people, should be, diving onto the pitch for anything. Let the players do what they do. If they want to celebrate with you, they'll celebrate with you. We've seen it in an article, they'll celebrate with you. Just don't be an idiot and go on the pitch. But regardless, what the Ranger fans did was just beyond deplorable and cowardly.
Yeah.
And very cowardly.
No. Yeah, and
I'm not going to say what they look like, what I told you. And I've said it a bunch on social media as of late, because it's a little bit controversial there. But, I mean, to come out there in their Spider-Man masks, trying to hide their identity and all that stuff, you know what? I hope cameras got these people, and they're banned from attending another football match in that stadium ever again.
Yeah. I saw this game. I saw the game, the penalty shot game because, get this, I forgot it was on ESPN Plus, but the entire game, including the extra time, was. But after they won in penalties with 2 minutes, one to hit the post and one went over the post, Celtic deserved that victory. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And they went.
Yeah, I think one of them still sailing beyond the English Channel at this point.
Probably so, and they were celebrating with their fans, and then all of a sudden, they got upset, and they were wearing their Spider-Man mask, and decided, okay, let's go after.
Let's go out there and be assholes.
I know.
That was purely an asshole move.
Listen, I'm new to this, being a Celtic fan, because of Gil Heron, one of the first black players to play on Celtic. Has it always been this bad between Celtic?
Oh yes, oh yes. Like I said, refer to those couple documentaries I mentioned. If you remember, I think if you remember talking about all the old the different types of firms that were involved. There was a documentary series that was on Netflix. Now it's on YouTube. So I'm just trying to go back to where that is.
And by the way, this is Celtic first victory at Ibrox since 1957 during the
that competition.
Yes.
In that competition. That's a long time. They've had many a victory at Ibrox.
I know. And winning at your respective other field is not that easy if you're the road team.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at trying to look for the videos and all that stuff as far as that goes.
And I'll go further, Philip, sometime. Yeah, because I read, and this was surprising, you never see that with Michigan, Ohio State, or any other rivalry team.
I mean, we had, well, like I said, there's plenty of videos about that. I mean, there's plenty of videos about that. I'm just trying to think of the name of the...
whatever Celtic...
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the name of the documentary.
I was about to say, wherever Celtic and Rangers meet, it's a high-security event. Literally.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There was a ton of police.
I saw the footage. They were forming loud, making sure, no, No, no. And if you
No.
remember, Matt's Ranger fans went back to their over the VAR and the camera boards, and it was just like, now 9 arrests were made. What I read from media report from the incident, they could arrest more because the game was shown nationwide on videotape. Literally.
And hopefully, like I said, hopefully they have closed circuit cameras for some of those perpetrators who decide to just put on the mask and try to identify who they are that before they went into the pitch.
Yeah, and I remember watching the end of the game. You go up to the stand for your normal fan saying, I can't
They
believe this.
usually applaud them and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Those are the nicer fans. You know what I mean? They have a right to be disappointed that their team lost to a
Walk
rival.
away. Walk away at that point.
Walk away.
Take the L and walk away.
And that's what I said.
Unfortunately with Celtic and Rangers, and I'm seeing it a lot on the Rangers side. They can't take the loss and walk away.
No, and during that whole thing when it got out of control, I said the one word, and this is a good message for every team when they get in a hostile. Go to the locker room. Go to the locker room.
Yep. And we saw 2 instances of that this week in soccer, and 2 very ugly incidents.
I know.
All right, what do you got for us this week?
Well, my sorry, not sorry to the people at the EFL. As you probably know, Sheffield Wednesday, oh my God, they got relegated early after being deducted 18 points due to the sins of Sheffield Wednesday's former owner, Devon Charcery, who used to own Sheffield Wednesday for about 11 years until recently when he decided he wasn't paying the players, workers, anybody. It was getting ugly. So they put the team in administration. They got deducted 12 points at first, 6 more. So, and they were the earliest team to be relegated in February. They have a grand total of -6 points. Now, if it wasn't a penalty, they would still be relegated with 11 points. But they're trying to sell the team to anybody who would get it. And now there was a deal by a former professional poker player named James Bond. That's his actual name, by the way. But then backed out because he didn't want to pay the losses incurred by the former owner. Now they're thinking if the $15 million in losses is not covered, guess what the EFL is planning to do at the start of the season next year in League One? They got 15 points from them. Oh my God. Oh my God. Honestly, they have gone for help with their former owner who almost, I don't want to say, drove that team in the drum and decided to leave off. And now they're being punished before the League One season didn't begin until next season. Oh my God. 15 points. Oh my God. To be on a bad bearing for the team, who fans were happy to see the former owner go, but honestly, oh my God, punishment. And yeah, they do take it seriously. You know what I mean? They look anywhere between -4 or -15, or worst case is -25, and they get, go bankrupt. But honestly, it's no fault of the players or the fans. It's the owner, and they decided 15 points. Okay, good luck. You're on your own now. Oh my.
As far as the takeover goes, a group led by American businessman David Storch has been named the preferred bidder to buy the club from the outgoing owner, Dejvan Chansiri.
Chansiri, yeah.
Yeah. So Storch's group outbid a rival proposal from former Newcastle owner Mike Ashley. And of course, we all know about the port. You just described the points deduction right there, as far as that goes. So that's the current state of the how the ownership thing is going. So probably another American owner trying to save face again.
Yeah, and as you probably know, European English teams get sell every year. They come in. I hate to say the word, a dime a dozen, but you know.
And lately, it has been the Americans that have been coming in and making those bids.
Yeah, I wonder why an American owner would own a English instead of vice versa, like an English owner. Like, I
Oh,
don't
like
get it.
Khan, Tony Khan.
Yeah, yeah.
He comes in and buys the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget,
That's the only foreign owner I know.
by the way, is he on Tottenham Hotspur as well?
Khan, no,
No. Okay.
he
Well,
owns
that
AEW.
oh AEW. I thought he also owns another team in the English Premier
No,
League.
the Spurs are pretty much a conglomerate as well.
I know. Well, yeah, Tottenham is becoming a big story because they could be the first. They'll be relegated for the first time as a member of the Premier League down to the Championship, but it hadn't happened since 1977 when it was called Division One.
Yep,
Remember?
yep. And if they do get relegated, I wouldn't expect them to be down for long.
No.
They'll have the best stadium in the championship though.
Oh yeah, you're right. And Sheffield Wednesday, they'll probably have the best stadium in League One, brother.
And of course, if you know Sheffield Wednesday Stadium,
Yeah,
remember a month from now, 1989.
yeah. Hillborough. That's
Yep.
where a FA Cup matchup went
Yep.
out of control because of.
I ain't gonna say any more about that. So
I won't say anything more about that too. Yeah, you're right. But there's some. There's still that good documentary on ESPN Plus. You gotta watch it. It's very
yeah,
powerful, by the way.
yeah. And I'm sure we'll do our due diligence. Some of us will do our due diligence to remember those that remember the 97 now, I believe, that perished that day.
Well,
So
after
no more
almost
summer. Okay, happy note. We got a game this Saturday.
yes, after 5 months of being at the clubhouse, watching soccer and all that, professional soccer returned to Keyword Stadium on Saturday. The first game of the year. City versus Brooklyn.
Catch that game on ESPN Plus and 2DN beginning at 4 o'clock. And you know what? There's another game that day, right at the same time.
What that game is that?
There's several games at that time, but Manchester City's playing on Saturday as well at 4 o'clock.
I hope you got. Is it on Peacock or NBC proper?
I believe that game might be on USA. Might be. I don't know. Let me check five mile real quick. But I
Get your
believe.
phone ready.
Yeah, get your phone ready. Yeah, they take on West Ham.
Yes.
Yeah, they're on USA.
And
Yeah.
we're going to be celebrating the first game of the last season at Keyword with a big first game. But after Brooklyn beat
And we're not the first game of the
Indianapolis.
day.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through. We got our Fab Four set for. I got a Fab Four set for this coming Saturday's edition of Soccer Night in Detroit, the
I
USL Today
know.
segment. So we got 4 games that are coming up. A couple of those, one of them will be happening right before we start.
Should be fun. Should be exciting. I'll shave my beard before Saturday. It's opening day. It's
It's
City.
opening day. Yes.
The crowd will be hyping and jumping, and holy cow, I'm glad to be back on this emotional journey, the last season at Keyword. Or is it the last season at Keyword? From my
We shall see.
prediction.
Well, we shall see. But until then, Steve over in Hamtramck.
Get your notes ready, and we'll pull you in on Saturday, including, we hope, the return of the adopted prodigal son, one Maximilian Rodriguez.
Pretty sure he'll be in that starting lineup on Saturday as well. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to the home opener at Keyworth Stadium. Until then, folks, keep your feet on the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy. And most of all, be good. We'll see you Saturday.